Another year has come and gone. We find ourselves right back here in November to ask the question, is Call of Duty gonna bomb this year? And as sad as it is, that's how we view it too, right? We don't think, oh man, I bet COD's gonna be good this year. No, that's no longer the mentality. After dicking us so hard and so deep for so many years, we just naturally expect the next one to be bad. I'm here to tell you this one's actually good. Surprisingly, probably the best one in the last 5 or 6 years. And I'm going to explain why. It does have its issues. It does have a couple hiccups here or there. Some things I don't personally agree with, but that's opinion-based. And I just want to break this whole entire game down so you guys can make an informed decision on whether or not you want to purchase it. And feel free to leave your own feedback down in the comment section below. That's what it's there for, baby. So let's get going. I put about 3 hours into the campaign. Not voluntary, by the way, because I do not play campaigns. I am just not a fan of that stuff because they have what I like to call filler material. It's that really shitty lunch meat in between 2 cutscenes. They generally have, no matter if it's a Call of Duty game or not, I mean, we're talking Battlefield, anything. Even if I can get into the characters and I can get into the story and I love the cutscenes, it's that 10 or 15 minute gap that spread out the campaign to 6 or 8 hours that is supposed to be playable content that is always just so dry and so repetitive, it's not enjoyable. It seems more of a chore than something that is interesting. So because of that, I have always strayed away from playing Call of Duty campaigns. This, on the other hand, had very interesting and involving experiences. Each mission was different, and they evolved as you played. Sometimes you were doing an attacking phase or a defending phase. Sometimes you were needing to offer up some sort of scout role position and have to snipe. There were train fights, car driving, AA situations where you had to fight off frickin' planes and stuff. They really did an honest nod to the era. That generation, the World War II, they really did a solid job. And through the campaign, you know this is too. You get to play as different characters. You're not just dealing with one solid protagonist. It's more of a group experience. This division, which is what they are leaning towards. And I have to admit, I enjoyed the campaign. And that shocked the hell out of me. Out of all of them, I mean, you would have told me, hey, COD's gonna be good this year, I would have been like, I'll believe it when I see it. But you would have told me that Call of Duty is gonna have a really good campaign and the gameplay is gonna be fun and challenging too, I'd be like, okay. Next, you're gonna tell me unicorns don't use their horn for butt pleasure, right? Right, come on now. But, to my surprise, it was a really fun experience. Let's talk about that social space now. So, there are a lot of people that are upset with this, and I have a few reasons and theories for why. Number one, I think this is a very well-developed social space. It's called Headquarters. It's very simple. It's basically a small courtyard. There's some different ways to go practice, play, train, and stuff like that, which are kind of cool. They're just kind of offshoots of this main area. But this is a hub, if you will. And it's very accessible. It's a very smooth transition. After every match now, instead of just sitting for, you know, a minute-long intermission, you can actually head to the headquarters and mess around or buy things or look at your contracts, check up on your orders, or even open some supply drops. So I think the transition between games and stuff, I think it's a very good integration. I think they've done a solid job with this, and it's not overwhelming. It's not toxic. It's not bad. I know a lot of people are turned off by the fact that you can open supply drops and everybody can witness this. And I feel like that is part of the reason this whole thing was created. And it's to draw more sales and microtransactions. And this is obviously their goal. You can love or hate it. It's business, and supply drops are completely optional. They're just there to tease other people. You're seeing a bunch of guys open up epics. It's supposed to build up your hype and want to be like, yeah, I want to try to get some too. Just do not fall into that gambler's trap, guys. Be better than that. Be better than that. So overall, the social space is actually really cool. I like the idea that you can buy contracts and that are time limit sort of challenges. I like that you can get daily rewards, weekly rewards. There are a lot of incentives and a lot of ways to generate these supply drops on your own. I've opened like 30 or 40 of them. I've had quite a few epics, a heroic. I've had some really cool stuff. So believe it or not, Call of Duty generates these at a lot faster pace than something like Overwatch or Battlefield's battle packs. They do come to you pretty easily, and you can do them through weekly missions. You can get them from rewards at the end of the game. It's a really cool and solid flow. Not to mention you can also unlock experience that can help you progress your characters, and it actually gets stored in a bank. You can only use like an hour of your experience a day, your double XP, but you can actually stock up on it, so that's kind of cool too. And I like this. There's lots of things to aim for, and it really helps develop the end game. And I'm really satisfied with this addition of a social space. You can also pretty much prestige everything now. You can prestige your guns, you can prestige your divisions, you can prestige your character, you can prestige everything. And that all happens inside of the headquarters as well. So it's It's a cool addition, and I'd like to see something like this evolve in future Call of Duty titles. Now, for the entree, the moment you guys have been waiting for. You've been licking your chops, multiplayer. Now, I'm going to start with the base understanding. We have divisions now. We no longer have like a perk system in play. You pledge yourself to a certain faction, if you will. You have like your infantry characters, you have your like LMG-based ones, your shotgun and infiltrate guys, you have your mountain guys, which are your stealthy scout roles, your snipers, you have your airborne, which are more about the on-ground, fast, stealthy play. And you pick to these, and they have those perks assigned to those 5 divisions. And though I'm not a big fan of these, I think it's cool that they tried to do something different. There is one area of customization. You are given like one perk that you get to pick. It's not a lot, but it's something that you can use to strengthen your playstyle and how you want to enjoy the game. So that is at least a little bit of customization for you. Unfortunately, this creates a very awkward situation with the UAVs inside of multiplayer. They are really crippling. Right now, it feels like every game I play is a race to whoever gets the first UAV, because it's like a gateway kill streak, man. It's downhill from there. Just one UAV leads to a couple more UAVs, which leads to glide bombs and paratroopers banging your sister, and it's just, it escalates, and it all comes down to that one UAV. It is so strong, and you're like, well, why don't you just run Ghost? Ha, remember that part about divisions? Yeah, everything is preset for you now. So, are you going to force yourself to run Ghost in Mountain only and miss all the other benefits from the 4 other divisions in the game just because UAVs are too strong? The other option is in one of those perks that I was telling you about. You can choose Launched. And again, it creates the same bottleneck. If I choose Launched, I can now use launchers. I can shoot down the UAVs, which is cool and all, but now I miss the freedom of being able to have the one area of customization ripped from my hands. I can no longer pick something that will enhance my movement speed or my aggressiveness. I have to use launch, otherwise these UAVs are going to result in me dying over and over and over again in constant spawn traps. I don't want that kind of punishment. So I'm stuck in the situation where I either have to pick one division and then I can use whatever perk I want, or I can pick whichever division I want and have to use one of those perks like launched. And this is not a very healthy thing because UAVs are very dominant in this game, spawn traps are crazy, and so many of the games are really lopsided because of UAVs. And people are just not adjusted to this yet. To be fair, they shouldn't have to adjust to this. This is unfair. There's not a lot of freedom to choose how you want to play and customize your build. Don't take this from us. If you're going to simplify things, let us just equip launchers so we can defend ourselves from those UAVs, because it's messing with the core gameplay. The whole flow of Call of Duty has changed, and it's because of UAVs and the fact that you just can't defend yourself from them anymore without having to take a major sacrifice in one of the only customizable areas in the game. This is a no-no, and I really hope this is priority number 1 for them. As for equipment and customization, they do it just like they always do. It's really solid. They have the old-fashioned guns you're used to, like from War to War. You have your MP40s, the SMGs and ARs you're used to, your semi-automatics, your snipers, your Kar 98s. Really good and memorable weapons. Really just strong guns from that era, and I'm really happy with those. There's tons of customization as well. You have your choice between a couple different scopes. Of course, they were limited back then. You didn't have your EOTechs and your crazy customization and optics, but they did good given what they had, and of course, tons of other things. Your high caliber rounds, your extended mags, your normal customization for Call of Duty weapons. Bam! Right there. Now, as for the game types, now this is really cool. You have your standard arena ones, the ones you're used to, your dominations, your kill confirms, your TDMs, all of those things, but they've brought back war. And why this is such a big deal is because this is a very teamwork-oriented experience. Now, I know what you're thinking, well, Dom, it requires... No, there are a lot of people that play Domination that don't give 2 shits about those objectives. This is all about objectives. That is the primary focus of war. And to have a teamwork and objective-oriented experience that evolves. Sometimes you have to escort things, sometimes you have to build things, sometimes you have to just straight-on breach something. It's a really interesting thing. And I feel like this is what Battlefield has been trying to do for so long and just never pulled the trigger on, and then Call of Duty comes out of nowhere and has a very viable, competitive future with this game type. I don't want to be that guy. I love participating and doing scrims and doing game battles in Call of Duty. I like the ranked system that they've incorporated in the last couple years. These are really good forward steps for the game and the franchise. Very healthy things. But I am not a big fan of watching them. And a viewer stance, I do not find a lot of enjoyment out of them. I would love the hell out of seeing the best players out there compete head-to-head in war. I mean, I just milked on myself. That is like a really crazy advancement. If they take this, if they run with this idea, this could be the future of Call of Duty esports. And I would love to see this happen because you're going to need roles. You're going to need designated snipers. You're going to need to use smoke. You're going to need to have a more tactical approach. It's going to amplify the objective and teamwork level to an entire new standard. It's not just going to be running around and killing each other, right? This is going to be an evolved experience with real synergy, real teamwork, and where every one of these objectives in war evolves into a different way to play. It's going to put pressure, and there's going to be strengths and weaknesses that are going to be defined through competition, and I would love to see war be the future of Call of Duty competition. I would love to, and I love ranked, and now they're integrating game battles into Call of Duty. There are lots of major advances that they have taken in this game. They've made a few gambles, nothing major, which generally leads to disaster with Call of Duty. They maybe hit one or two great ideas that they messed with really hard, and then they fuck up on one or two. They played it safe. They made the right calls, the right advancements with this Call of Duty, and I am really happy with War being introduced, to having all the classics that you love, ranked coming to the forefront, a lot of competition involved with game battles. There's a lot of potential here. The foundation is set, and I really hope they blow all of our minds with this right here. I'm really stoked for that, so that is something I'm really happy with. As for the Call of Duty feel, it's still boots on the ground. It's what Call of Duty felt like 6, 7, 8 years ago. Good Call of Duty atmosphere, and it plays like those back in World at War or Modern Warfare 2 or something like Black Ops. It feels good. It feels really good. So, I feel like I'm confessing right here. Like, I'm having to admit that I lost a bet, but COD's good this year, guys. Surprise! It's actually a really solid title. I did not think I was going to like it this much. The launch day was a nightmare for me. I almost didn't even play it on day 2. I gave it a second chance. They fixed the server instability problems. There was no longer getting shot around corners. It was actually a much better experience, and I'm so glad I gave it a second chance. I'm probably actually going to go back and beat Campaign 2. Another surprise for me. The competitive future of this game is something that I could embrace, and I could get back into my roots. This is a good COD. If you're disappointed in there not being another Battlefield this year, maybe Battlefront 2 is not your idea, maybe give this a chance. Maybe it'll surprise you like it did me. Try it out, guys. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, stay tuned. Be sure to tick that little bell next to it so you're always notified when another upload comes out. And, of course, leave a like, as it really helps the channel get out there more. You guys are awesome. I'll catch you with another video soon.